Hello and welcome to DannySentMe's Integrity Selling. A little bit of an introduction about integrity selling and integrity solutions. This is part one of four of a four-part series. If you have questions, comments, or anything like that, definitely reach out. Go to call.DannySentMe.com. But thanks for spending just a couple of minutes of your day to learn a little bit more about integrity selling and what perhaps it can do for your organization, and hopefully at the very least to give you some ideas and things to think about. I wanted to introduce myself. Again, I'm Danny Jessup. I've been in sales and marketing the vast majority of my career. Don't let the picture fool you. I'm much younger than I look. But I'm a former national sales and product trainer of a Fortune 500 company, traveling throughout North America, training hundreds of reps, working with hundreds of different dental offices. And I really love having that focus on reps and the dental teams, and really to partner with them and have that growth focus in mind. Overall, really want to work with them and enjoy working with them, of shattering the status quo, teaching an old dog new tricks, as one rep told me that I was able to help them do. But overall, really working with reps and dental teams, at the end of the day, you peel the layers back and they are a business. They're a small business. And there's so many small business aspects that apply across the board. And whether you simply have one location that you're working with, or you have several different locations of your business that you're working with, these models and principles and things like that apply across the board, because at the end of the day, I believe that if you follow a process, you're going to have a predictable outcome. And so overall, the objectives for this short tutorial training right here in part one is to, from a high level, introduce integrity solutions in this free four-part series here. And hopefully you'll be able to think about things that apply to your organization and what your current situation is. Throughout the series, you're going to overall going to take a look at some of our learning designs, and we're going to introduce different models and concepts and things like that perhaps you've been on the cusp of, or you've kind of gone down something similar to that, but haven't quite been able to connect all the dots there. And definitely, I've always got time for Q&A, so reach out at call.DannySentMe.com. Give me a call, or pencil in a time on my calendar. There's a link right to it. In fact, in as little as 3 clicks, you can book a time on my calendar, and let's have a call. We can screen share. We can talk through a couple of things and get some of your key stakeholders involved if it makes sense there for you. But why integrity solutions? Why are companies choosing integrity solutions? Well, it's results. Why do companies choose you in your business? It's because of results. You're bringing a result to them, whether you're selling products and services and things like that keep them coming back, or you're looking to really take that to the next level. Over the years, integrity selling has had hundreds of thousands of graduates receiving sales certificates across the globe. And part of that has come with certified in-house facilitators. A lot of organizations will actually go through the whole integrity selling process, or integrity coaching, or integrity service process. And at the end of the day, start a train-the-trainer model and follow that model and have someone in-house that'll train their teams and things like that. But it's got to start somewhere, and that somewhere can start today, and it can start with you. Because at the end of the day, we're looking for a proven behavioral change process. We don't really just want something that's going to be treated as an event. When something's treated as an event, it's a one-time thing. Yeah, I remember that was a great time. And a lot of times that's as far as it goes. And so as you kind of think about this, the wheels start to turn in your head. We can definitely address and talk about any additional key areas that might be specific for you. So definitely as things and ideas come up, put them in what I call the parking lot. Write them down. Save them so that you can remember those things that are on your mind as we go through. For me, I became a certified facilitator of integrity selling in 2013, and I've actually attended several different training workshops and things for other sales organizations or sales methodologies and things like that. In fact, I attended a 2-day Challenger sales course workshop in Chicago, and had a great time with their team and learning a little bit more about their methodology. I've also attended a 2-day workshop with Corporate Visions in New York, actually, last year as well. And again, great team, great organizations. Had a lot of fun learning more about them and their methodologies, and really how they're producing and training and creating positive outcomes for them, for their clients as well. And so, again, just like I'm sure it comes down to what you do internally with your organization, really comes down to following a process. And as I mentioned earlier, I believe that when you follow a process, you're going to have a predictable outcome. And that outcome, that predictable outcome, is why great brands really choose integrity selling. With the integrity selling brand, as I mentioned just a little bit earlier, you've got integrity selling, you've got integrity coaching, you've got integrity service. And it really applies across the board to different areas, aspects of so many different organizations based off of really what they're trying to achieve with their products and services and their clients there. The integrity brand is really grounded on these three core solutions: selling, service, and coaching. And it really comes down to the long-term application of the skills introduced in these courses, but it's supported by a series of advanced application, and it really comes down to performance accelerator modules that are built into integrity selling. It's also been customized for several different industries, even medical device, healthcare, diagnostic, pharma, biotech, just to name a few. And in fact, these are some of the brands that have actually worked with integrity selling. So great brands that have been around a long time that also know that there's a need to be cutting edge and keep their A game on the front lines every day. And that comes from the development of their people. Top-down management it just isn't quite as popular as it perhaps was in the past. We can all think of great leaders that we've had. And in fact, just listening to a podcast, and the well-known Navy SEAL Jocko Willink says that there's no bad organizations, only bad leaders, and so it really comes down to making sure that your leaders are top notch, and that's really where coaching comes into play. And making sure that your teams can be led by someone, and also putting your teams, investing into your teams so that they'll do the best job that they can, because they know that your organization has got their back. And so it's, even integrity service has actually been customized for hospitals. It's also been implemented over 200 facilities, focused on improving patient care experience overall. And that's from a service aspect of it. Think about that for a hospital. And so you might be thinking, well, I'm not a sales organization. I'm not a salesperson and things like that. And at the end of the day, it's really taking someone through an effective communication model that'll lead them to that predictable outcome. And how do we communicate better with the people around us, our own team members, our own stakeholders within our organization? How do we communicate better with our clients? And that's really what integrity selling is all about, is following a specific communication model at the end of the day. Is really what everybody's looking for is, well, what are the results? What can I get out of this from working closely with you? And really, what have all these great brands found out of integrity solutions and their products and services? It really comes down to, what's the ROI? What's the bottom line? And for every organization, that's going to look just a little bit differently in how that is measured. And you can actually see from some of the samples and things like that right here, is that it's ranging from what was most important to them. And with Lean Six Sigma, they call that, what is the voice of the customer? Really, what is the customer trying to say? And these organizations, this is their voice of how they have actually measured what the ROI has been from going through integrity solutions and investing into their team. And again, not treating it as an event, but something that can actually get ingrained within the organization to create long-lasting behavioral change. And really, it kind of sums it up at the very bottom there, to simply put it, as to what one organization looked at the impact that integrity solutions had on them. And that's, for every dollar they invested in integrity selling, it returned $352 in new sales. Wow. Can you imagine that? What would that look like for your organization to have something like that? And so I pose that question to you. If you were looking to take your organization to the next level, what would that ROI look like for your organization? And how would you measure that? Because it definitely needs to be measured. Well, that's the end of part one right here, Introduction to Integrity Selling. Again, if you want to pause right now, definitely go to call.DannySentMe.com and schedule a time. Give me a call, book an appointment on a time on the calendar that works for you, and let's chat. Otherwise, feel free to check out my next video in the series. It's part 2 of Integrity Selling, an introduction. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.